Oh my God, that pump is crazy.
Oh my God, that's nasty. In response to people saying their joints were beat up. Now there's another way to work your arms without real heavy weight. So I wanted to focus on a higher rep workout today for buys, just to show you how you can keep your joints healthy, but still blast your buys and get them to grow by simply using high reps. It's not cables. We'll talk about how you do that, how you rest between the sets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do sets of 25 today. It's probably too many reps on an exercise. You know, normally you do an exercise, you do 3 or 4 sets. I don't really want to do 100 reps on one exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 exercises in 2 sets. So 8 total sets at 25 reps a set is going to be 200 reps. I like that concept of using 4 exercises instead of just doing 1 or 2. Now, I'm used to working in an 8 to 12 rep range. One of the things I found over the years is that when you go out of that rep range, you just burn like fire. I mean, it gives you an intense burn. So the weight might feel really light at first, but once you get out of that rep range you're used to working in, it becomes pain tolerance until you get to failure. So normally I curl with like 35 pounds, I would say, on my dumbbells. I'm going to go down all the way to 20s. Now, I've already done 1 set, and I can tell you when I got to like 13 or 14, it just was a blowtorch. It hurt so bad. Now, what you got to realize is when you're training with higher reps and lighter weight, is you do have to get to failure. So basic science says that, you know, you use a certain amount of muscle fibers to produce a certain amount of force. And if it's a lighter weight, then you're not using all the muscle fibers. They're not all producing maximum force. That's just common sense. But as you fatigue, you call more muscle fibers into play. So if you go all the way to failure, you're essentially getting all your muscle fibers to work. You're activating them, you're making them produce force, you're exhausting them, you're doing what you need to do. So the biggest key with bumping your reps up like this to 20, 25 reps in this case, is that 25th rep should be around failure. All right, it's much more important to approach failure on these higher rep sets. Also, that should tell you that 8 sets of this is going to be really hard. So let's see what happens. Okay, second exercise was a spider curl. I can't even tell you how bad that burns. So I did my first set 40, but honestly, when I got to like 16, 17 reps, I couldn't do anymore. So the reps got real sloppy. So I actually had to go down to 30 pounds. And once I got out of that kind of 12 rep range, it just was straight fire. I got a maximum pump. You know, I hear people talk about how maybe the pump's so bad they can't even train. That's kind of how I feel right now. The pump is so crazy in my biceps, I can't even hardly bend my arms. So 2 sets of 25 on a spider curl. So just a couple key points here. I like to go behind my head on a spider curl. I don't see too many people doing that, but I like to do that. It just adds a little bit more range of motion. And then as far as grip, whether you use close, wide, whatever's comfortable in your wrist, whatever you feel comfortable. There's no right or wrong way. What's funny too is when you get tired at the bottom, like when you rest, it makes it even worse because you're sitting there in a stretch position. So there's really not much you can do here to kind of cheat and get more reps. You're just going to feel intense pain. So get ready for some pain on this one. All right, next up is, you know, this is my favorite, one of my favorite 2 exercises for buys. It's also brachialis, because you have that neutral grip. But the bigger you get that brachialis muscle that sits under your buy, the more it'll push it out and make your arm look wider. So we're leaning back a hair. You're letting your arms hang down, which is going to put a lot of stretch on your bicep at the bottom. At this point in the workout, with so much blood in there, a stretch is a very good thing. So in this one, again, 25, 2 sets 25. It's going to burn like fire. Just work through the pain. Squeeze. You're going to start feeling a little bit in your forearms too. That's totally normal. That's cool. Don't sweat it. Nothing wrong with having bigger forearms too. So the last exercise is a drag curl. Look, I admit my form is starting to suffer a little bit. My biceps are absolutely trashed. And they're so pumped I can barely move my arms. But 2 sets here, 25 on the drag curl. Try to keep your elbows back. Drag the bar right up your body. Elbows back is a lot of long head of your biceps. That's kind of the outer part. But you're just going to have to fight through the pain. I think I was down to 30 pounds or something like that, and it still was just straight fire. This is one of the best pumps I've had in a long time for biceps. Absolutely insane pump. Very, very, very painful. So I'm anxious to hear how you guys do when you do this workout. So anyways, that wraps it up for today. 200 brutal reps for biceps. Next up, triceps. Stay tuned.